welcome back to René of Paris today for another live stream. In this video, I'm going to show you the two new synthetic styles, both of which are absolutely gorgeous. One of which I think is probably my new favorite go-to daily wear wig, which is like a big thing for me to say because I love wearing all different wigs. I switch up styles all the time, but I have a certain category in my own wig wearing that I consider my daily go-to wear wigs for my personal day-to-day wear. And the two that I always talk about being my daily go-to wear wigs are actually both also from the Amore Collection. They're Cody and Tatum, which are both very popular styles from the Amore Collection. But of these two new styles, one of them is definitely going to slot into my top 3 favorite wigs of all time, just because it's very particular to my personal style. So I'm really excited to show you both of them. But that's the fun thing about all of our wig collections with René of Paris is that there is a style for everyone. So that's just up to personal preference. So once you watch this live stream, afterwards definitely go over to our website, reneofparis.com, to view the full catalog there, see all of the different styles that are available, different lengths, short to long, curly, straight hair, and you'll definitely find a style that matches the description of what you are looking for. I personally am a big fan of the Amore Collection with René of Paris because it is designed specifically to be geared towards people who do have medical hair loss. Now that doesn't mean that you have to have hair loss of any sort if you want to wear these wigs, if you just like the style, but the collection generally has specific features that are just really good for people who do experience medical hair loss, such as extra comfortable caps. They're very, very secure. A lot of these things apply to all of the lines with René of Paris, but especially even more so with the Amore Collection. Very realistic on the scalp, which I'll show you in a minute when I pull out some of these wigs, and just very, very comfortable. Now with all of the René of Paris lines, I just wear the wigs directly on my shaved head without a wig cap or anything, and I find them all very comfortable. But if you're someone that does have more of a sensitive scalp, then the Amore Collection is a great place to start your search because they do have a lot of features that add extra comfort. Now that's something really exciting to mention as well, because with these new styles, there is a new type of cap construction that I can show you that has some features that add even more comfort. So if you thought the Amore Collection was already amazing, it's just so cool to me, all these new features that keep coming out to keep improving on these wig styles that are already amazing. So let me just go ahead and pick up the first wig that is next to me, and then I will show you the two cap constructions. I also have my Tatum here, which is what I mentioned, one of my favorite go-to wigs of all time. So I'll show you that cap construction as well. And they're just different options, and different things work for different people. So let's just go ahead and jump into the first new style. I'm going to show you the style Glen first, because it's the one I'm holding. Very cute, kind of shorter style. Short styles like this are so good for daily wear as well because they're just so easy to manage. They almost never tangle. Sometimes if I'm wearing a short style regularly, I just have to kind of brush my fingers through it and then it's good to go, like take very minimum effort. So just to show you the new cap construction, this is called the Soft Luxe Cap, and what this features is a monofilament layer paired with a soft net. So this layer here just adds extra soft material so that it just feels extra comfortable, especially if you're wearing it on your shaved head. Then you also have this lace front here, which is also a little bit extended as well. So it's just like a little bit longer than some of our other lace fronts. So you just have that really natural looking hairline roughly from about here to here. And then you have a silicone strip here for some added grip. The open wefting, which is really good for durability, very breathable, and also just really helps the wig cap to fit securely on your head. And then as always, you have the adjustable straps at the nape of the neck. And these are very adjustable, so they tend to fit most head sizes. So that's the first thing you want to do when you get a new wig, is to always check the adjustments to make sure they fit. Now again, I just put these directly on my shaved head, no wig cap. These do not need adhesive or anything like that. Simple as that, and then I take the ear tabs and kind of adjust them. And here is the first new style. This one is absolutely gorgeous, kind of just about chin length. I love these little wisps in the back. It is just so cute and charming. And again, wigs of this length are absolutely like maximum ease of styling. So this one does have that lace front, as you can see here. And that blends into that soft luxe cap, which again is a monofilament with another layer of a soft net for added comfort. But just look at that hairline. Look how natural that looks. So it blends very seamlessly on the front from your scalp. I'm gonna pull it forward a little more. I like to also gently bring my finger under the cap to make sure no strands are caught under, so it's not pressed between the lace and my skin. But if you look closely at that, You can see how cleanly that blends from my scalp to my forehead. There's just no blunt line or anything. And that's really nice for styles with a lace front when you might want to kind of brush it back like that. And then that just melts very seamlessly into that monofilament. And the monofilament on top just gives you that extremely natural looking hairline to give you the effect of having it look like it's growing out of your own scalp. So that's a really fantastic thing about this style, Glen, is it is just so flexible in terms of styling. So it might come with a certain parting, but then you can move it to the right. You can kind of move it middle part. Anywhere you want to move it, you're going to have that really natural looking hairline peeking through. Now sometimes when you change the part with the monofilament wig cap, you kind of have to train the hair to set that way. So if you just kind of, like let's say you want it to be parted on the other side, the wig is going to still kind of be inclined to go the way it came just because it's been in that style for a while. But you can use clips to kind of hold it in place. And also, we do also have, this would probably be very helpful for this, we do have our René of Paris hot tool, which is good for styling synthetic wigs. That would be a quick way to use the hot tool to kind of adjust the style to lay the way you want it to, but that will also just happen naturally. You just kind of have to train the hair to stay where you want it. But the point is, it's just really nice that you can part it and still have that scalp peeking through no matter how you move it, which is just so fantastic. Just gotta show from the back. This color, by the way, let me double check the name of the color. This is Cherry Brown-R. Such a cute color as well. Just a really beautiful, dynamic brunette with just some tints of like a warm tone in there. Absolutely beautiful. And of course, all of our wigs come in a wide range of colors. So if you like this style and want to try it in a different color, you can go to the catalog on reneofparis.com. Just go to the Amore tab on the René of Paris website. You can view the full catalog and see all of the color options available with all of these styles. So you can really see that slightly extended lace front there. It just goes from about there to there. Pretty much as far as you would want to pull the wig back. Just see how beautifully that melts. No thick knots or anything. It is just so finely knotted. It's just such a beautifully constructed wig cap. Now, as someone who has had alopecia for pretty much my whole life, been wearing wigs daily since I was 7 years old, for the longest time, when I was young and my parents were trying to help me figure out what wigs to wear, especially as a kid, we had no idea what we were doing. I just remember one day I went into a wig shop and the woman that worked there, she's so lovely, she introduced me to Amore wigs. And this was when I was about 12 years old. And ever since then, I have been wearing Amore wigs as my daily wear go-to wigs. And for years, it was the Cody wig, which was one of my absolute favorite go-to wear wigs. And then for a while, it was the Tatum wig. The funny story about that is I was so private about wearing wigs at the time, so I took the transition from high school into college as my opportunity to change hairstyles slightly, and that's when I changed to the Tatum style. Absolutely gorgeous. So this wig cap is a good example of most of the wig caps in the Amore collection, but there are a lot of different features on the different wigs, especially with these new caps, so you have even more options. But even just the classic Amore cap that you'll see with most of the wigs, you have that double monofilament wig cap, silicone strip, open wefting. The big difference here is the top. So if you compare the inside of this cap, so this is the soft luxe cap. That's the brand new cap construction with, this is the new style Glen. You can just, the only big difference here is that this is the soft net on top of the monofilament. So it has the same effect on the top of your head. So it has the effect of really just looking like it's growing out of your scalp. But both of these are just a version of a fabric that just makes it extra comfortable on top of your head. So with the soft net, very nice and smooth. Same with that double monofilament. The point of that second layer of monofilament is just so it's really nice and smooth on your head. So both are really great options. Just to show the side-by-side comparison of one of the other common cap constructions in the Amore collection. And I'll put this on just for a moment to show. This one is a style that has been around for a while, but it is one of my all-time favorites. I always wear this in like a dark chocolate brunette color, and then I recently just wanted to try it in creamy blonde because I also love this color. And it's so cute on this style. I love, love, love it so much. And yes, so you still have the same effect on the top of the scalp. Very, very natural looking. however you move the hair around, which is really nice. And you'll find that with all of the wigs in the Amore collection. Now let's move on. So this is an example of one of my favorite go-to wear wigs of all time. So you can probably see when I show you this other new style that just came out. This one is Findley. I think you'll see some similarities that show why it's one of my personal new favorite go-to wear wigs of all time. This style is pretty much everything I personally would want to look for in a daily wear wig for alopecia. Things that I like to have for a daily wear wig are, I like shorter length styles because they're just a little bit easier to manage. I like straight hairstyles and just a short bob like this one, really nice. But also those really secure and natural looking features like the monofilament, and this one also has a beautiful lace front as well. So this is actually another new cap construction. Very similar to the one that was on Glen, but this one is the Soft Luxe Plus cap, and the major difference is that it has an extended lace front, so it goes from ear to ear. So you can see the difference between the Soft Luxe cap and the Soft Luxe Plus cap. Kind of back up so you can really see that. So with the Glen, like the lace front is perfect and it works perfectly for this style as well. But it is also nice to have that styling flexibility for when you really want to pull the hair back more, to have even wider lace. This is the extended lace front. It's also very long this way as well. You don't just get this little tiny strip of lace, you get this nice big section, so it just looks extraordinarily natural and then blends very seamlessly on top into that monofilament. And again, this is with the soft net in addition to the monofilament, so it's just very comfortable on top of your head. And as always, the adjustable straps at the back. So this is also the new fiber type, the natural movement fiber. So it's still a synthetic fiber. It's a blend of different types of synthetic fiber. So it just flows even more naturally than the synthetic fibers that are already part of the René of Paris wigs. So with this Tatum, beautiful movement, looks like natural hair, absolutely amazing. This is the standard synthetic fiber with René of Paris wigs, but this natural movement fiber, it's a very subtle difference in terms of they both look very natural, but you can really tell whenever anyone touches this, because people in my life know I wear wigs, of course, so sometimes they like to guess, like, oh, is that synthetic? Is that human hair? Whenever I wore this around someone yesterday, and they're like, oh, is that a new wig? Is that human hair? Like, without me even prompting them, they were like, oh, is that human hair? Like, no, this is the natural movement fiber. Absolutely beautiful, flows really nicely. With this new blend, it's also less prone to cold set. If you're not familiar with cold set, that's just when if you store a wig in a certain way, sometimes if you store it for a long time improperly, sometimes you'll get a bend in the hair or something. You kind of have to work that out of the wig. It'll accidentally set that way, thus the name cold set. So this is also less prone to cold set, which is nice as well. Although I will say, if your wigs ever do get cold set, the René of Paris hot tool, which is for synthetic wigs, is actually a really great way to fix that as well. But with the natural movement fiber, you don't have to worry about that as much. So let's go ahead and put this on. So this style is just so perfect to me. Look how natural it is. Also, you can see how easily I put that on my head. But now look at this. You have that ear-to-ear lace front. Just everywhere I pull it back, very natural looking. No knots, no visible knots at all. It really just looks like scalp. Just look at that. Look at that. I can't get over that. It's absolutely amazing. I remember when I first discovered monofilament wigs in general, I was amazed that you could have that natural scalp effect with wigs, but this is just even more next level with that amazing ear-to-ear lace front, and I just can't believe how natural that looks. No, you cannot tell that is a wig cap at all. So that's the reason that I would consider this one of my new favorite go-to daily wear wigs, is because in general I think the style is so cute. Kind of nice collarbone length bob. You can very comfortably put it behind your ear. But it also just moves so beautifully. It really looks like a human hairstyle. Look at that. The natural movement fiber synthetic is just so beautiful. The more I move my head around, it just looks so natural. And then if I wanted to kind of pull it back into a half ponytail, that looks super cute like that. Let's see if this can go into a full pony. A lot of times when I do a full ponytail on a shorter wig like this, I like to leave some layers down because I just think it looks cute. But that just looks so natural. And then if I wanted to do like a pulled back ponytail, I can do that because of how natural that lace front looks. Do you know when you first get a new wig and you have to kind of determine where you want to place it on your forehead? But look, like if I really pulled that back and put it into a ponytail, just have a lot of styling flexibility because no matter how you move the hair, it just looks so incredibly natural. So I am just in love with this new style. It's just so cute. The length of it, the way it's layered, and it's just so incredibly natural on top. So I would almost compare this to the Coty wig, which was one of my favorite wigs from the Amore Collection for years. I wore that every single day of my life from about age 12 to about age 18. Every single day for all those years I wore that wig, and I still love that wig. I still have it as part of my collection. But to see this one, I feel like it has some similar features. This is definitely a little bit longer than Coty, but this definitely would have also been one of my daily go-to wear wigs back in the day as well, and it would be now. I'm just comparing that time of my life till now because the only difference is that at that time when I only wore Coty every single day, it was because I was very insecure about my alopecia and didn't want anyone to know that I was wearing a wig, so I only ever wore one style. And now I change wigs pretty much every single day from short to long, curly, brunette, blue. We do have some really cute blue colors with René of Paris. Love the Melted Ocean color. But now I'm less worried about having my hair look completely perfect every single day and have it look the same every day because I do change it up so much. But even now that I change my wigs on a regular basis, I still like to have a daily go-to wear wig. And that's just for the days where I don't want to have to think about the wigs that I'm wearing. When I am switching up my wigs to drastically different colors and styles, it's because I typically have an outfit in mind and I'm like, this wig is gonna look like a really cute accessory to this outfit, right? So of course there's days where I'm not putting that much thought into my outfits and what I'm wearing, and I just like to have a wig that I can just get out of bed, put it on, go out the door, not think about it at all. And this is a perfect wig for that because again, I can take it off like that. And if I'm ready to leave the house, I don't want to be spending time gluing down a wig, straightening it out, making it look perfect. That's all I have to do, and then I'm ready to go. So that's why I also just love synthetic wigs as well, because they just hold their style, you don't have to maintain them. So it is just absolutely gorgeous. I can't get over this. Like, I can't imagine anyone ever looking at this and like realizing it was a wig unless I told them. Even with the Tatum wig that I showed a moment ago, I'll never forget this story of when I met one of my first friends in college and I was still very insecure about my alopecia. I was wearing the Tatum wig and I was like, okay, I really want to open up to this friend that I have alopecia and I wear wigs. So I was sitting with her wearing the Tatum wig and I was like, oh, I just want to let you know that I'm wearing a wig. And she like didn't believe me. She was like, no, I can see your hairline. What are you talking about? You're not wearing a wig. And I was like, no, I am wearing a wig. So it's so realistic that she genuinely did not believe me. So this is the brand new style. This one is Findley. So beautiful new style from the Amore Collection. This one is the new natural movement of fiber. Flows just like human hair. Beautiful blend of different types of synthetics. Yes, so I can do a 360. So here is the front. I really love that kind of collarbone length. Hope I'm in frame there. Is that good? So I really love this style. Just about the same length, maybe a little bit shorter. It's hard to tell when I'm wearing it. I think it might be a teensy bit shorter in the back. Just so you kind of have a slightly longer piece in the front for those face framing layers, which I love. And then when it's a little shorter in the back, that's also nice because that also will cause it to get friction frizz less quickly. I love wearing long wigs, but sometimes they do tend to get friction frizz a little bit more quickly than short ones. And that's another reason that I love shorter wigs for daily wear, because they do also tend to last a little bit longer in my experience. But that's also from my perspective from when I was new to wigs and didn't really know how to maintain them as well. You can definitely do things to prevent friction frizz as well. And I will say the René of Paris Hot Tool, ever since I've got this as part of my wig arsenal, this tames friction frizz so beautifully that it adds, in my personal experience, adds months to the lifespan of a wig for me. Because once it gets to that point where it's getting a little friction frizz, if I just run that through it a few times, it looks good as new. So I really love the René of Paris Hot Tool. I would recommend it to anyone that's new to wigs. But yes, short wigs do tend to get friction frizz less quickly just because there's less hair to rub up against your fabrics, or if you're wearing a scarf or something. but I just can't get over this. So this is Findley, absolute new favorite of mine. And let me just double check what this color is. This is the Natural Movement NM Melted Caramel. So let me just take a moment to explain the Natural Movement colors as well. So any color style that you'll see for the styles, if it's a Natural Movement style, the colors will have NM in front of it. So you might see some colors that have an NM version and a regular version, and they're going to look very similar. So for example, a really common color in the René of Paris collections is, let's say Creamy Toffee, for example. And then if there was a Natural Movement version of that color, it would say NM Creamy Toffee, and it would look very similar, but it just might have a little bit of differences just because the blend is different. So just so you're aware of that. So this one again is Melted Caramel, so NM Melted Caramel for the Natural Movement fibers. And it's also with the Natural Movement roots, I think they're a little bit more subtle and a softer transition as well. So that's something to note with these Natural Movement colors. Agreed, the ROP hot tool is awesome. Yes, I bring it everywhere I go whenever I'm traveling. I'll bring my wigs with me, and then I will always bring the hot tool because just if any wig mishaps happen, it's really nice to be able to fix those up really quickly. Like for example, if I ever go on a trip and I'm going to like the beach or something, and like let's say I get the wig wet by mistake and it kind of accidentally dries in a weird way, you can very easily fix that with the hot tool, which I love. And yes. It's also good for styling. Like if you wanted to use the hot tool to add curls to a wig, you could do that. If you wanted to take a curly style and straighten it, you could do that. So it's really fun to kind of add your own personal twist on wig styles as well, which you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. Because again, this is specifically designed for synthetic wigs. So without this, you can't typically style synthetic wigs because hot tool, like using heat on them will damage them, but this is specifically designed to work on synthetic hair, which is fabulous. So now just to give a brief overview of the other new styles, I don't have them to show with me today, but definitely check them out on our other videos that we have about them and also on our website, reneofparis.com. Go to the Amore tab and view the whole catalog there. There's also 2 new human hair styles in addition to these 2 new synthetic ones that I just showed you. So the 2 new human hair styles, they're both Remy human hair, 100% hand-tied, absolutely beautiful. They're called Dara, which is a 15.7 inch wig, and Oakley, which is a 9.8 inch wig, a little bit shorter. And they're both so stunning. The wig cap constructions on those are so amazing as well. Same with the entire Amore collection. I would recommend the Amore line to anyone who's experiencing hair loss for the first time and looking for their first wig, but also to anyone that just really wants a nice, high quality, secure wig. You don't have to experience hair loss to want a wig of this quality. It's just absolutely amazing. And I love all the different lines that we have here with René of Paris, but Amore was absolutely the first line that I discovered as a new wig wearer, and it's why I love working with René of Paris today, because I am just so enthusiastic about the Amore line specifically. And again, I spent ages 12 to 18, I wore the Cody wig from the Amore collection daily. Ages 18 to like 22, I wore the Tatum daily. So yes. So you can tell. So they're not like that similar, but just in terms of they're both kind of medium length, like collarbone length wigs, and they're both straight styles. Those are 2 things that I like to look for in my personal taste of a daily wear wig. So that's why I was showing Tatum before, just as a kind of like no surprise there that Findley is now one of my new favorite wigs. I'll just show the Tatum wig one more time since I keep mentioning it. So again, with the Tatum wig, this is a wig cap construction that's very common in the Amore collection as well. This just has the double monofilament wig cap. And monofilament of any type, whether it's single monofilament or double monofilament, or if it's the new soft luxe caps that also have monofilament, they're going to give you that effect of your scalp peeking through. And again, I remember when I first learned about monofilament, what a game changer that was, because it just looks so incredibly natural. So especially if you're someone that doesn't want someone to know you're wearing a wig, features like that are going to be completely indetectable. And again, even when I was telling my friend, hey, this is a wig, by the way, she was like, no, it's not. You must be like pulling a prank on me, because she thought that the wig cap just looked that realistic, which is also very flattering. That was a very validating moment, because I was like, oh wow, even as I'm telling you this is a wig, you just don't believe me. I'm putting this wig back on because it's just so cute. And then, of course, in addition to the 2 new synthetic styles and the 2 new human hairstyles, like I said before, there is the new top piece. So if you're not familiar with top pieces with any wigs in general, top pieces are basically kind of a partial wig. So let's say you're looking at the wig cap here. It would basically just be like a partial wig cap. So like you wouldn't get the bottom half, you would just kind of get the top. And generally those are for people who do have bio hair of their own, and you typically want to get a color that will blend in with your bio hair. But that's really good for maybe if you have a little bit of a thinning hair on top, you can put the top piece to kind of blend in naturally, so you can kind of make the top look fuller and blend it in with your own bio hair. This is also a really great trick for if you're someone who dyes your hair and you don't want to have to upkeep the roots as often. Just get the topper to wear in between hair salon appointments, so you can just cover up those roots if it's growing in, cover it up with the topper, and do that until you can make another salon appointment. Just kind of extend that time period. So there's already the long top piece mono, again, so it means that the cap that you get with the top piece is also monofilament, so it'll basically look as realistic as this, but it'll just be a partial wig. So the long top piece mono was already very popular as part of the Amore collection, but they just released a new version which has a slightly larger cap. Now again, that doesn't mean you have to have a larger head size, that just means the part of the cap that the top piece extends, it just extends a little bit longer than the regular long top piece mono. So that basically just depends on how much coverage you want. If you just want a little piece to cover just the top, then you would get the long top piece mono, but if you want a little bit more a cap, you would get the long top piece mono large. So again, that just refers to how much wig cap you want as part of the top piece, if that makes sense. Again, you can also go to the catalog to see the side-by-side comparison of how big the actual cap is for each top piece there. So just to give one more overview of all the new styles, 2 new synthetics. I am obsessed with this. This is definitely my new favorite go-to wear wig, and I'm not exaggerating at all. I think a lot of times when I talk about the new wigs on here, I get very enthusiastic and I'll always say, oh, this is my new favorite. And I genuinely mean that every time I say it, because I'm someone who changes wigs on pretty much a daily basis, so I have a lot of favorites. But in terms of my favorite daily go-to wear wigs, I always say Coty and Tatum, Coty and Tatum. Those are my 2 favorite wigs for so many years, and this one is now going to be in that list. Coty, Tatum, Findley. They're just so cute. So I just really, really love this one. And I also just love this color as well. Yes, so then just to show the other new style as well. So this color I'm wearing right now is the Natural Movement Melted Caramel. Again, if you're not familiar with the melted colors, it's also kind of a gradient as well. So there's lots of different melted colors. Might be familiar with Melted Marshmallow is a popular one that we have, but this it kind of just is a gradient more than just a root. And then we have Cherry Brown-R. So here, this is just the rooted version, kind of the difference between the gradient and the root here. And this is the other new style. This is Glen and Cherry Brown-R. So let's put this on one more time for anyone that missed that earlier. And both of these have the new Soft Luxe cap construction, but Glen has the Soft Luxe cap and Findley has the Soft Luxe Plus. The only difference being that the Findley has a wider ear-to-ear lace front, whereas this one just has a, still wider than a standard lace front, but still it's also perfect for this style as well, because you're going to have these pieces here anyway with this style. It's really just determined by what looks good with each hairstyle. With some styles, you're going to want to really be able to brush them back a lot, and some you don't need to do that as often. So like with the Tatum, for example, this one doesn't have a lace front at all because it has bangs, so the hairline is covered. So yes, this one was Glen. Very cute. You can really change that parting in any direction. Lots of styling flexibility, however you want to play around with this. And then again, Findley, Natural Movement Fiber, Soft Luxe Plus cap, ear-to-ear lace, monofilament with the soft net on the inside. Such a gorgeous style. And then the 2 new human hairstyles, Dara and Oakley. Dara is 15.7 inches and Oakley is 9.8, so you kind of have a more medium length one and a longer one, so you have options there. Both of those are 100% hand-tied Remy human hair, just top of the line human hair wigs, so beautiful. So we also have videos on our channel about If you're someone who is brand new to wigs and you haven't decided whether you want human hair or synthetic, we have videos all about human hair and synthetic wigs, comparing which one is best for you. It's completely up to personal preference. So if you want to check out one of those videos first and then go back to our Amore catalog and see which section you want to look in, whether you're looking for synthetic or if you're looking for human hair. But if you are looking for a human hair wig, the Amore Collection human hair wig styles are absolute top of the line, cap construction, high quality hair, absolutely everything. So yes, and then again, the new top piece, which I just went over before, is just kind of a partial wig on top if you just want to kind of blend that into your bio hair. So yes, all of those are on our website, reneofparis.com. View the whole catalog there, see all of the different color options available with each style. And yes, I'm going to continue my day probably wearing Findley because I just love this style, if I can't enthuse about it enough. So yeah, if you have any questions about any of these wigs that I showed in this video, feel free to comment them. And also, all of our live streams get saved to our page afterwards. So if you missed the beginning of this, or you want to go back and rewatch a certain part of the video, you can always go to our page, René of Paris, here, and view the full live stream there. And feel free to, of course, as always, leave comments on that video if you have any questions. If you want to DM us privately, you can always ask questions there. Or if you have any questions for me, I'm Abby. I am one of the Alopecia Ambassadors with René of Paris. You can always message me personally as well, abbyandrew.yt on Instagram, if you have any questions about my wig wearing experience or about alopecia or anything like that. So don't forget to follow us here on Instagram if you're not already, at René of Paris, or on our YouTube channel, René of Paris, where we have lots of wig tutorials and we always make videos about all our new releases. So check out all of our other content on there. So thanks again for hanging out today. I hope you all have a lovely weekend and I will see you guys very soon. Bye everyone.